Hello.
Hi, can I check you boarding?
Yes,
You're welcome, thank you.
Yeah.
That way, thank you.
Thank you.
Compartimento do teto sobre o seu lugar. Em caso de despressurização, caem automaticamente. Nessa altura, retire a sua máscara de proteção pessoal e puxe uma máscara.
I just wanted to say how great was this flight and everything until we had to actually disembark on the tarmac that I didn't expect at all. Crazy. And then they said there is a lot of strikes here, so the long waiting lines because nobody works and everybody strikes. Woo, exciting. My connection in Lisbon is pretty short, so basically I just had enough time to clear the customs and go through the security, so I'm boarding my next flight. Finally arrived to Switzerland. Now I need to take a train to go to Zurich, and then where I have my rental cars and then start my road trip. Very excited. Hi, I just need tickets to Zurich. Can I buy them here?
Just for a single ride, or are you coming back?
No, just a single ride.
One is the receipt, so track 3 or track 4?
Thank you very much. Have a nice day. This train ride was very fast, maybe like 10-15 minutes, and it was so quiet. It was like unbelievable after all of the noise from the planes. It was super cool. So I decided to travel in Switzerland by car. There were like two options, by trains or by car, and I decided that I can see more in the less time by car, so road trip it is. And I love doing road trips. I like to have this freedom of like, you go whenever you go at any time you want, you can have like a mess in your car and everything where you need. So that's why I'm driving. Also, I'm not riding on the highways as I need to buy some special permit for the highways. It costs like 40 francs per year, and I'm here only for a couple of days. So I actually thought that maybe if I drive smaller roads, I'm gonna see a little bit more of the country, you know, than just like the highways. So that's kind of another thing that I'm doing here, just taking the small roads through every village, seeing those villages, the architecture there, the people walking around. It just, for me, it's very interesting to study a country this way also. So there is a crazy story that I have to tell you. It blew my mind. So when I came to rent a car, I gave my driver license and the lady there is like, oh, the car is already rented on your name. I'm like, what do you mean? I just arrived. I couldn't rented that car. She's like an hour ago. And she's like, my colleague was here and she gave the car to Andrei Julidov. and she showed me the receipt that Andrei Julidov picked up the car. I'm like, this is nonsense. I'm like, an hour ago I was just at the airport. I just arrived into the country. That it was definitely not me. She's like, yeah, I understand that it was probably not you, but I need to figure that out. So what happened is that apparently there was another Andrei Julidov from Ukraine, from like Donetsk region, because that's what says there in like receipt that whoever received the car. And I was like, I'm not from Donetsk region and I don't even have Ukrainian driver license. I have New York State driver license. And she's like, yeah, I see that you are different Andrei Julidov. And she said, I can see here that there was Andrei Julidov rented like the car for the same 3 days for the same time of pickup twice, where we sometimes think when people like rent twice for the same name, it means that they basically do it like from different like accounts, and then we cancel it and just do only once. So what happened, they just like saw that Andrei Julidov did it 2 times, and then after that they like canceled the second cancellation, second reservation. And first of all, I never met anybody with the same last name in my life, and then just like first name and last name, and rented the car for the same day, the same amount of days, in the same foreign country. It's just absolutely weird. The thing is that I know when this guy is returning the car, and I want to meet him, honestly. It's just the weirdest thing that ever happened in my life. I thought that it might be, you know, some computer error or something, but that person apparently like presented a driver license with the same first and last name and rented a car. So there is another Andrei Julidov right now driving a car somewhere in Switzerland, also from Ukraine. Like, what? You know, gonna be weird that he gonna like book the same hotel that I book, and I just go to check in and they're like, you already checked in. No, I think that coincidence not gonna happen, but listen, the first one happened. It's crazy. The first town I want to visit is called the St Gallen. It's not far away from Zurich, but I decided to first go to that town since I picked up the car. There is no reason to park it in Zurich. And I actually think my first challenge there is going to be to find a parking and figure out how to do that, because so far what I've seen, all the signs are in German, as I understand, and I don't understand German, so I need to figure out, is there like free parking even like a thing here, or I need to find some private parking that's gonna be paid parking. I'm not sure. I need to figure that out. I'll keep you posted though. I found a parking garage. I have no idea how much it costs, so it's gonna be probably a surprise for me at the end, but there were no other options. So we're looking at the street parkings. It everywhere says like class 4, class 5 or something, so as I understand you need to have a permit to park there. So I didn't want to risk any ticket and decided just, you know, pay for parking. There is a very cool square here which is like painted all red with street furniture, and all the surfaces are red. Very cool. I noticed very interesting feature here. So the parking for bicycles is marked with the painting of bicycles, and parking for cars is also marked with the signs of the cars on the surface. So one more space for car parking, and I guess that big red one was parked illegally. Actually, I really like the scale here. It's like buildings are not very tall, the street is not very wide, though it's not very narrow. Also, you can see that the sidewalks and the road lane itself is in the same surface, so it seems like the cars are not riding often here, and you can actually enjoy the whole street walking around. So when I'm not prepared for visiting a new town, I mean, I didn't study and didn't do my homework on what are the main attraction points here, what are the main architecture and other stuff, I basically open the map. I look at the historical center, I see what are like the main squares, the main streets, pedestrian alleys, and then that's somehow in my head I draw like my main route, how I'm gonna explore the town, and definitely I'm gonna find something cool, something interesting. Of course I'm gonna miss a lot of points, I'm not gonna know the background, the history, but there is also the beauty in this way of exploring, because when you look online, you've seen all of the pictures, you kind of like understand what you're gonna see. You know, it's not as a surprise, it's nothing new. There isn't this magical moment when you turn the corner and it's like, wow. So today is gonna be like this. I'm gonna try to turn the corner and find this wow moment. But sometimes, like for example right now, I don't even know where I want to go, because first of all I see a very cool small street on that side, I see another street with the church that want to go to that direction, and if to go here, you see there is a huge modern bus stop with another like market or something behind that plaza, and I'm like, where should I go first? And I'll probably do like a circle up there and then I'll come back to this plaza. Do you hear the bells? So there should be something beautiful right here. Those are actually the moments that I like, that I mentioned earlier. Around the corner there is some magic. And then I found this beautiful lawn here, and on the other side there is some big building. I'm not sure what it is. Seems like part of the church, but then again, the old architecture with fachwerks. Jesus, this town like doesn't stop. So many things here, and it's like pretty small. It's very easy to notice how well preserved historical architecture is in the historical part of the town, and also how maintained it is. And you know, I think it's just, first of all, because that the Switzerland was never involved in any kind of the conflict, so there were never like any bombings or ruins through the war. And the second part is that the country is pretty rich, so they can afford to maintain everything very well. You see the building that have this like sticking out parts of the living rooms that are almost like balconies? That used to be a sign that those were the houses of very rich people. And I think that's gonna be the end of my little exploration of St Gallen. I'm going back to my car to figure out how I pay for parking and how much it is actually. And for tonight I have an Airbnb in the mountains, which are like 40 minutes drive from here. So regarding parking, the cost for parking was 6 francs for 3 hours, which is like 2 francs per hour, which is what, less than $3 per hour of parking in the parking garage in the old historic town. I think that was actually pretty good, not expensive. So I made it to my Airbnb tonight. It's on the farm in the mountains, and we have these beautiful goats here, and they're eating everything they see. It's getting really dark. I don't know if you can see all those beautiful mountains behind me, but tomorrow morning I definitely gonna show all of that. What do we say? What do we say for YouTube? We say thank you for watching the video. Then what we say next? Please subscribe, put the thumbs up, put the bell notification, and to the next one.